Okay, this is a landmark day in the TR3 restoration, as for the very first time ever in this process, things are going to actually start going back together. We have not put one thing together on this part back on the car at this point. Everything that we've worked on so far has been taking stuff apart and restoring pieces and getting pieces ready to go back together. Keegan the Vlog here. Welcome to unboxing day. We've got all the bits for the chassis build here. Most of it came from Moss Motors. Some of it was cleaned up from the original car, and well, we're gonna get into this thing and get everything organized and see if we're missing anything critical. I'm sure we're missing something, but I think we're gonna be able to get a good start on the build here. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is organize our parts and see what we got. So let's get into it. Drive shaft, check. Ooh, key, rear shocks, check. Rear shocks. Trunnions for the front, look at that, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hey, all right, so we're gonna get started actually building the chassis now. We're gonna start very simple, actually not so simple. We are going to begin by assembling one side of the front suspension. So we've got the parts explosion out here. We're gonna have to find all these little, I've got all new fasteners, all new bushings, all new washers, all new everything. So organizing this is going to be tedious. Tedious is the right word. Once we get one of them done, the second one should be a little bit easier. So here we go. So I believe what we're going to do here is work from the top down. So I'll start with the upper control arm, move over to the side with all of the steering and suspension system here, and then get down into the lower control arm and the trunnion and all that good stuff. This is going to be the first time in this process that bits are going to go back together. So excited about this. It is not quite a year since we started on the process, so to be here in less than a year is pretty exciting. So where we're gonna start is this corner, and that's because it's close to my desk. So we're gonna start putting the front suspension together one side at a time to get just to get familiar with everything. Spent a little bit of time tracking these little buggers down. These are spacers that go in here and are no longer available. So if you lose those, you're in trouble. Luckily, I didn't lose them. So clean those up a little bit. We're gonna get going on the front suspension. So here we go, landmark day here in the TR3 restoration. Okay, so the parts diagram only shows lock washers on both the inner and the outer bolts for the fulcrum pin. However, the hardware that I took off has a wavy washer and a lock washer. I think I'm just gonna go by the actual parts diagram and put it together the way the diagram says. So we're gonna forgo the wavy washer and we're gonna put it together the way the book says. All right, here we go for the very first piece to go back together on this restoration project. All right, that was sort of a big event. First part back on the car. First bolt torqued. That's it. Right there, first bolt torqued. Okay, getting the front end here, front suspension sorted out here. There's a plate that we're gonna put on. We're just kind of organizing the fasteners. There's a plate we're gonna put on. This is the only new bolt available for this whole piece, this whole setup here. So luckily we had all of our old parts we got out, and we found the originals, and they are cleaned up. So so we can put this together. But you know, when you do one of these teardowns, you got to stay organized with your old parts, because you're going to find that just the random ones are the things that you can't get your hands on.
Unintended consequences are the link between the form and coming up. The link between the form and coming up is in the middle. Down a darkened terrace and hitchens. Spurgeon Russell Seapot in the end. Spurgeon Russell Seapot in the end. That wins the argument. Waking up to the radio.
All right, a little bit of a setback this morning. What I did not notice until just now, well, earlier this morning, is that the bushings for the lower control arms, 3 of them were still on the shafts. This one was not on the shaft. However, we didn't tape it and we painted over it. So, and this is a machine surface. So it took a metric ton of heat and about 3 hours to get those old bushings out. So got to touch up all the paint down here now, and then we can continue. But they're off, so progress. All right, that's it for part 3 of the chassis build. We're stuck until we get some more parts in. Stuff like this was kind of strange because each one of these bolts is different. So anyway, we've got it together now. So here's the front left of the car. That's just about put together with all the little bits. As soon as we get the rest of the parts, then we will finish this up and move on to the back. Unfortunately, we can't put the back together until we have the differential gone through. So I'm going to hand that off to Tokar when we pick up the engine. And that's coming up soon. So stay tuned for more on the TR3. There's more Ferrari. There's more. We've got another surprise vehicle showing up here shortly. So if you're into this kind of stuff, please consider liking and subscribing. We'll see you next time on TR3 Wrench Time.